When I first started my pursuit of the Specialist Tier 1 skins, I chose the hardest one first, naturally, and that is Irish. He needed 3,200 APS detonations to get that skin unlocked. I was unfortunately only averaging about 5 or 10 per game, so it was a very slow process, likely needing hundreds of games. With this method that I figured out, it speeds up not only his, but 7 of the 10 specialists, and is definitely the fastest way to get them maxed out and get those skins unlocked. I went from 5 or 10 detonations per game to 400 on average, reducing it down to only about a dozen games needed to get that skin. I'm going to show you how to do that farm inside of this video, as well as a couple other tips and tricks for your favorite specialists. So if you enjoy this content, please leave a thumbs up on it, as it helps the video get out there, and consider subscribing and ticking that bell if you like more content like this. Let's begin. Unfortunately for 4 of these specialists, I don't have any wizardry, any special tips to give you, and those are Sundance, Boris, and Falk. Those 3, however, I would recommend you guys to get done in Breakthrough, due to the density and just the cluster of enemies is going to help you get those done. As for Dozer, I don't have anything fancy other than I'd recommend you to run armor plates, because that little bit of extra durability, because you have to close the distance gap and melee somebody, might be the difference between getting that kill and dying right beforehand. Also, he's the only one out of the 10 specialists that I would recommend you to do a conquest, as you want to kind of divide and isolate your fights so you have a better chance at killing and surviving. It's too many open areas, too many angles, and too many people clumped up in Breakthrough to really get some momentum going with him. So how do I do it? It's simple. All you need to do is queue up Breakthrough on Kaleidoscope. The A1 objective on the first set of defense is amazing. So you're looking for ideally the US side, but the Russian attacking side is pretty nice too. But the defensive side, the US side, allows you to have that A1 building in the first set. And if you can lock this down, you can farm hundreds of whatever characters specialist you are trying to get done and unlock those tier 1 skins. 7 of the 10 are done fastest on this objective than anything else in the game. Not to mention that even if you do get pushed out of it, Kaleidoscope is a magnificent, almost exclusively indoor objective game where they're going to keep pushing on you into a concentrated area anyways. It is by far the best map in the game to get these unlocks and accomplishments done. So I'm going to show you how to queue up and aim specifically for this map, so you can just do this over and over and over again. It's really quite simple. All you do is queue up for Breakthrough. When the countdown begins and it does find a map, it'll show you it on the right side. It'll also show you on the left side what faction it's going to be. So as I said before, Russian's attacker, which is solid, and it's even better for some of the characters like Rao and Pike, whereas somebody like Irish is going to probably flourish better on the defensive side, which is the American side. So all you do is queue up Breakthrough. If it's not Kaleidoscope, you cancel, and then you re-queue until you actually get Kaleidoscope. Another piece of advice I can give you is a lot of times when you're trying to do this solo, you are going to be thrown into games that are already in progress. This is a bad thing because a lot of times they could be on further objectives, and the best part of this whole thing is that first set in that A1 building, and you don't really want to miss that. So I would heavily advise you to bring a friend or two along, because that will definitely increase your chances of getting a fresh map and less chances of you getting just a plug-in one that's already going on. So for the individual specialist tips and tricks, Irish is a give me. You've been seeing it on your screen. You are noticing the ticking. He needs 3,200 APS detonations. I was averaging about 400 of these in this A1 objective per game. Even on the offensive side, I was still getting a couple hundred. So all I did is basically plant the APS on the left and right door and just let the grenades pour in. Every once in a while, they would wise up and shoot these things, which is how you counter this if you see an Irish doing this to you. And then all I would do is basically wait on cooldown and plant another one and be right back at the count. The next specialist is McKay, and all you simply have to do is get enough kills from an elevated point, so you just have to be higher up than your victim. This is very easy to do with the SVK and the snipers in this game. Just get to a tall rooftop and shoot down at them. Also, cool little trick here is, as it says, just have to be above the enemies. This also includes equipping McKay and jumping into the pilot seat of a Nightbird. If you are in helicopters, if you are gunners in helicopters and you are getting kills, this also counts towards his tier 1 skin. So you can do it entirely in a helicopter if you wanted to. The secret for Rao is really a very easy one, and a lot of you guys have probably already been doing it without knowing that it affects Rao. But those proximity grenades that you can throw, those proximity mines, those count towards his. So yes, on this map is absolutely wonderful, but you can do this as you go. All you have to do is identify and get assists, and you will unlock his tier 1 skin. So don't leave home without those proximity mines, as they will do the bulk of the work for the skin progression for you. I don't have too much wisdom to share with Casper beyond the fact that you should definitely be doing this on Breakthrough, as just honestly the density is ridiculous. There's just so many enemies everywhere, and you can continuously rescan targets after the spotting has dropped. And I have found that I get like 500 or 600 of these per game. This is probably the fastest method in the game. I would get this one very early on if I was you. Last but not least is Pike. Now, Pike can be done anywhere. You can go as you play. She is an absolute legend for the aggressive player and has the ability of wall hacks. However, if you do want to speed it up, that method, the A1 method in the building, whether or not you're on the defensive or offensive side, as long as you're scanning through that wall, waiting for cooldown and popping the scans again, you will consistently get hundreds of those towards your progression. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you for sharing part of your day. If there's anything that I missed or any other strategy or way that you can really speed these up for any of the characters, please let me know in the comment section below as we can share this with the community. But thanks again for your love and support, and I will see you tomorrow with another 2042 video.